sucks? Do you know what sucks? Because I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you whether you want to know or not. Getting like a half hour into a tutorial, and then you look down, and your microphone is off. Hey, my name's FlashBepler. Hey. It's like a Groundhog Day experience for me. It's probably all new to you. Is my mic on? Yep, we're good. Welcome to a tutorial on blood. What happens when you shoot a spear into a flesh bag? God, I was doing so good, you guys. I did such a good talk about, but it's okay. It's okay. Welcome to liquid particles. I'm gonna do a double talk about, so now you can get the full experience in a local computer near you. Let me begin by talking about bags of flesh, like people. They have a heart, and inside of that heart there is blood, and it pumps around, and it pumps and pumps, and you have blood pressure, and you have arteries where the blood comes like every heart pump. So when you hit something with blood inside of it, blood comes out right fast. Let's look at how liquid behaves. Oh, not like I've done this before. This was Untitled 5. Well, this is a ball of liquid. Liquid, much like some gases, but even more so, wants to be spherical. It has surface tension, and the only way to equally distribute its surface tension is to make itself into a sphere. So that's what it tries to do all the time. Whether it starts off as a line and then you let it fall through the air, it'll be a sphere. It'll be a sphere. And you got to keep that in mind when you're animating, because then it likes to hold on like this. Like it likes to hold on, like you've seen it. You had a faucet in your house that's leaking, and you see this shape. That's because it doesn't want to break. It doesn't want to break its tension. It likes being one whole piece. Water likes to be one whole piece. So this is where it's holding on, and this is weighing it down. And usually it holds on pretty good, but you know what happens eventually. Eventually, it'll snap. And then this will happen. So let's animate it. Let's do that again. So here's frame 1. I'm going to use this because I was so happy with the way I drew that. Here we go. The spear hits. And then let me get some frames in here. Okay. What have we got going on? So much. We got a big piece here. Let me get some notes colors. We got a big piece here. We've got a piece right here. We got some going on there, and then there's another one here that's holding on like that. We got a big thing here. We got stuff there, there, da 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 da. Just watch as I animate it. The color, it's blood colored. It's a bloody blood. Just don't do that, please. Please, please, please. And especially, don't do this. Ugh. There it is again. Ugh. Just get your... Blood is dark, right? Blood is, like, sometimes even almost black looking when there's a lot of it. Oh, this is just gonna make me so sad. I gotta hide it. I can't keep looking at that. Alright. And it started to hail. It was so relevant, and then I looked down, and the mic was off. What is that? So check this out. Blood is going to try and hold together. You know when you drive through a puddle going this way? It leaves behind a shape like that, right? And then there's a little bit of spray, but it makes like these wavy things. That's because the water is trying to hold together. When you drop a droplet into flat water, it makes like this. Because, well, obviously some places there are not going to be as much amounts of water everywhere. But what it does try to do is keep it from turning into just lines by holding it together where it can with that surface tension. So we're going to remember that as we animate our blood, which is made up of lots and lots of water, right about now. This first piece here, what's going to happen to it? Well, I'm just going to do it and then talk about it right after. I'm doing a big bulge here, and then, yeah, that's gonna happen. I don't want to do this again. I know I talked about it so well. Maybe I can just show you the last one and then talk about that. That's exactly what I'm gonna do because I worked on it for so long and all the principles are there. In fact, it'll make for a better video because then you won't have to stand through me animating so much of it. Hey, let's take a look at this. What is happening? Now I can just take notes. Oh, it's so simple. Okay. Let's get blue. A nice blue. Yeah. There. Ah, smooth. What is happening? You may be wondering. Let's look. The spear hits. The puff, it goes out. Wait, Andrew, what's that? What is it? you sly observer, you? Well, that's a leader. You know, leaders and followers and then followers. What we got going on here is one big leading and following thing. Just like our tentacle and rope tutorial. Also cloth in general. And apparently now the parts of liquid. Look at what we got going on. So it starts off probably like in here. That's our leader. And then our leader goes up to here. And then it goes out here. I mean, so much is happening. So it's making a big path. And what's happening to our follower? Well, the liquid starts to interrupt it. See, the follower was here. And it's also here now. It's been split because this big piece is moving so fast this way, and this piece, well, it has to keep following the leader, so eventually they reach a point where they butt heads, and he can't follow anymore. He's got to become an individual, so he breaks off, and then the surface tension as he falls will take over and he will become spherical. And then this is a sphere just being stretched with the squash and stretching tactic. So that's what was happening with that first one. Well, let's look up here. Okay. Wow. Such a big advancement from the last frame. What happened there? Well, it starts off just like this. And then the force from the spear makes it shoot out. And then, whoa. Now it's up here, and it's not attached anymore. What is going? What? Well, his leader, right there, if you can tell, like, this is the follower, and this is the leader. Now the leader is pulling it this way. Because of whatever, because maybe some more blood is going into the massive liquid from the bottom. And then, like, we got another situation. Here was the follower, right here. But it couldn't hold on anymore, so it splits up. Becomes multiple pieces. It's just that's all that happens in blood. It happens all the time. Look at, here's the leader. He's leading, and then he becomes there, and then he becomes his own particle. Sometimes the leaders rip away, and they turn into their own thing. What happens here? I didn't finish animating that one yet. But what happens here? So, we have a straight line. Relatively. We got a little bit of suggestion of a curve. Then here, we have a very distinct curve. Like that. We have a piece here. Well, we have a piece here, here, and then here. And the joints are there and there. What is going on? Well, this section of the blood is moving fast it's moving faster than that part, and this one is moving slower than that part. So what does that make for? A big twisty thing, where the S starts to get more and more dramatic. See, now, this is moving so slow that it's almost like it's behind the part that was moving fast before. And then, because of that, they might start to rip, because one is going faster than the other, and the surface tension can't hold on. But notice how, even though, realistically, this should be like that, if they were just solid, they don't break yet, because liquid likes to hold on. Oh. We're going to just ignore that one, because that is a number that I do not know. They're relentless. But the liquid doesn't stop for phone callers who don't have time to put their IDs on their name. What have we got? I mean, what the heck have we got?
If you have enough money,
Oh.
go ahead and hang up now.
Well, that's me. I've got enough blood, that's for sure. What is this? Not this one. I'm done with that one. We talked about it. It's the big S. This. Oh, a doubly so? A double loop back? What? Look at that. Watch it. Watch this part. It will become this part. And then that part will become that part. See that? And then this part right there. Okay? They're all just going in their own directions. But until they go far enough away, they try and hold on. They try and stay as one continuous piece. Liquid, liquid, liquid. What up here? Same exact thing. Like, it's just the same thing. Exactly. It's another one of these just right there. They're all over the place, and they look fine when you animate it. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to start animating gravity now to liquid particles. First I have to get rid of my doubles, because I doubled it up just to get a look at what it would look like. Hey though, you don't have to double it until the end. In fact, I highly recommend you animate on ones until you're finished with everything, and then you do your doubles. So, what happens to stuff as it falls as a liquid? Gravity will take over if it's going upward after a certain point, or gravity will speed it up as it falls. Like this piece. See that? See that right there? I'm going to animate it right now. What's going to happen to it? It's shooting out this way. Not that fast. It's always going to be moving the same left to right, but it will slow down, or it'll speed up going up and down. So maybe like that, and then like that. So you end up with something like this, where just watch. Right, like that, and then that, and then it hits. Yeah. Good. Okay. What happens to this one? Ooh, this will be fun. So, we got lots of forces. This piece is going to keep going, just up there. And then this piece is going to do that. Yeah. I believe it. In fact, it might even bend a little bit more. And then it'll slowly merge together. Not slowly, over the course of like 2/30ths of a second, it'll merge together, and then it'll become a sphere. And then it'll just follow a normal path like your bouncing ball would. And it'll stretch as it falls, like rain looks like when it falls. They look like lines, not dots. And there we go. That's that one. What happens to, say, this one? Right there? Well, I already animated that. What about that one? Yeah. So it's breaking off, it's going up, and it's bending, and then it's becoming a sphere, and then it is a sphere. And it's not quite going down just yet, that far. There we go. Hey, liquid is not that hard. It's probably the easiest, really. It goes liquid and then solid and then gas as levels of difficulty. Because liquid, you can kind of fudge everything and make it look like whatever. All you have to do is turn it into dots after a second, and then you're just animating dots. And animating dots is really easy. Nope, that wasn't right. Apparently, maybe it's not as easy as I'm making it out to be. So it'll slow down at the top, and then it'll speed up and keep going left, and then turn into a line. And then it'll land. Okay. Ooh, what about this guy? That needs to get some work done on it. So he's going up and outward, and he looks like that, and then he looks like that, and then he looks like that, and then he's just a sphere. You get the groove of it. If you've watched me do, 6 already, I mean, you probably already know what's going to come next on the next one. Just turning it into a sphere as it falls. Something that you might want to do is start off with blood that just looks like this, and then do a bunch of that, because that'll get you into the groove of animating different heights of things falling. And then you can use that really quickly as a blood spurt. And then you would add your doubles at the peaks. Yeah, do some of that to get into the groove. And then go for these advanced shapes and complex directions. Alright, what happens to that thing? Nothing yet. So I'll say it'll go there, and then there, and then there. And I'm gonna have to do some liquid physics in a second. Some blood doesn't move as fast as other blood depending on when it started falling. See right here? See that? This big particle. For whatever reason, I'm making it go faster than this one. Because it's not heavier. Don't get the wrong impression. But, well, it is heavier. But, like, how do I explain this? Terminal velocity. It's more aerodynamic. A bowling ball falls faster than a penny. Not in a vacuum, but everything that you animate is probably in air. So pennies can only fall so fast because the air pushes on them. But a bowling ball is pretty dynamic, or aerodynamic. So it can go through it faster. Like, you really see it. Like, drop a flat 1 inch by 1 inch piece of paper, and then drop a marble next to it, and obviously the marble's gonna fall faster, even though it wouldn't if there was no air. It's just because of, like, little dots fall a little bit slower, just cause. Okay, next, just do some straight up and down ones, and then some that go right off the bat, and then I still gotta work on this thing. Good. After a certain point, it doesn't really matter which ones you add detail to. If there's enough, it'll look fine. Gotta do that one. Okay. We're almost done. Almost done. Then I can do the ground blood, and then I can do some closing thoughts and wish you good luck in your particling endeavor. Endeavors, I hope. Hope it's not just one time after this video. You know, keep it up. I used to animate just blood and just tentacles coming in from the side of the screen all the time. And I think it made me a little bit better, at least. Okay, that thing. This is a pretty bloody flesh stump. I mean, he is getting hit with a spear, but does that really warrant this much blood? I mean, come on, man. Get your act together. Like, jeez. Too much blood. Too much blood, 2014. Is it almost out? One more. No, probably like 5 more. Unfortunately, particles just take a while. Ooh, there's one I haven't done. A big one. Great. Great. And splash. Woo! Done. I'm gonna call it done. I'm gonna go fill in these empty ones. Filling them in. I recommend close small gaps for closing blood gaps. Keep it nice and consistent. Yep. Or you can, just leave them open, like certain animators. Is it done? Is it done? One more. Okay, I don't really want to spend a lot of time talking about ground fluid physics, like when fluid impacts other stuff, but I will animate it ever so briefly, just to cover all the bases. But don't expect any advanced descriptions of that yet. I'm not ready to talk about that in detail. So maybe it would spread out and then, I don't know, get shorter. No, it would loop back. I don't know. I don't do this very much. But I will put out a thing on it because I'm going to practice it a bunch and then talk about it. I used to do this every now and then. And blood is different because it's so thick. Who is it? Geo? Did he do a good tutorial on this? I think it was him. He really went into detail on it. Either it was him or... No, I think it was him. Maybe I'll find that. Maybe I'll link it. Oh man, he did a cool video on his channel for introducing it. Lots of floppy full body. That's good enough. That's good enough. Yep. And then this one comes in and splash. And then it goes the other way. What else? This one. Yeah, don't judge me on my ground fluid right now, because this tutorial is about fluid particles. Because really, once they hit the ground, it doesn't even matter. You just draw lines on the ground where they land. Okay, yeah. Good enough for me. Oh, hey, that doesn't look bad. So, well, not yet. Not closing thoughts just yet. We are gonna do ground blood. This is how I do ground blood. You can do it how you like. You make a new frame, and then instead of hitting F7, we're gonna be hitting F6. I make it a little bit darker, and then as stuff starts to show up, you just hit F6, and then start drawing more and more blood as little dots hit all over the place. Like this, and then maybe there's dots that you didn't even see showing up, and then with these ones, there's like blood out the wazoo. Every frame, there's new blood, new pore. And then it might start to get a little bit darker as it starts to turn into scabs on the ground. And then some of that action, and yeah. Alright, great. And yeah. Alright, let's slow it down at the peaks, And then we can call this sucker done. So these are the peaks. Do some doubles. The peaks being the tops of their falling arcs. And then, yeah. Not even atrocious. And then I'm going to do a couple extras as the blood on the ground starts to fall. Ideally, you would do all your big particles on one layer and then your small ones on another one. And then I can really slow this down right at the end. Yep. Oh, yeah. Hey, you can download this and go watch it yourself. Or not. You know, or you could just watch it here on my screen. This is how I might do blood of a, a spear hitting a flesh ball. And this has been Introduction to Liquid Particles. I hope you learned maybe one thing. I think the thing that I really want to stress about this is the leading and following happens all the time in particles. Because particles are dynamic and they like to hold on to each other all out the wazoo. You see, it's really clear in this one where they hold on right there. This is definitely multiple pieces, but they're just kind of, they're holding on for dear life as long as they can until they split right here. And when you animate your first little gush, there's leaders and followers everywhere. Everywhere. You saw it before I'd filled everything in, but you can even start to get a look at them, in their natural habitat, as I'm tracing them right here. They are everywhere. Even look, it's like in there. There's one big one, and then in here, and then here's a leader. I mean a follower, and he's ripping off. That's all it is. So go in there, do some blood, and then afterwards focus on making your particles fall with gravity evenly. Big ones fall generally a little bit faster because of air resistance. And then when they land, have some blood on the ground. And heck, for all of it, when they leave the flesh ball, have some blood on the flesh ball. Because, it was there. So some should be left over. Like this. Yeah. Ooh, but underneath for sure. Not on top. And then like that, and maybe some gets hit on the outside. I just don't want to do this after the fact, because then if you download the FLA, it's not the same as what you saw in the video. And I don't want that. Alright, there. Should be goodly. Alright, not bad for recording it twice. And it's 55 frames long. 60. 2 seconds. Yep. Welcome to Particles, Blood. And goodbye.